Happy Friday. I hope you're doing good. It's your girl Sika in the house, as always. Happy Thursday. How are you doing? I hope you're fine. I'm doing great and fantastic. Before I get this show on the road, I wanted to let those of you who have heard about Redox from me that there is a special sale and promotion that is going on. This promotion is finishing tomorrow, Friday, the 17th of November. You signed up, you said you wanted to get started on Redox, and you still haven't started out yet. You're sitting around procrastinating, thinking about it. Should I not? There's one thing in your life that you can't do any gambling with. The one thing in your life that you don't take any chances with is your health. Because without it, you can't do nothing on the surface of this planet. So if you missed it the first time, there is a sale and promotion that is going on with Redox, and that sale and promotion finishes tomorrow. So for those of you who wanted Redox, I would then treat you today. Last days are dangerous. I wouldn't even take the chance of waiting till tomorrow. If I were you, I will get my own today before it finishes tomorrow. Because what's the point? You turn up tomorrow and there's now no product for you. What would you do? You would have missed out on the promotion. So get out there today. If you're really seriously, truly looking and seeking to have optimal health, today is the day to go see Pastor Patience. Her name on Facebook is Patience_O.Edwards. Go follow her page. Get talking to her. If you want to get the website, it's Redox Miracle, one word, .team, TEAM, ASIA.com. Very simple website. You can also reach out to her that way. The promotion ends tomorrow. Okay? The second thing that I wanted to say is that yesterday I had an awful lot of people asking me, I want the link for the webinar. I want the link for the webinar. I want the link for the webinar. How many of you have actually clicked on that link and followed through to sign up for the webinar next Saturday, 25th of November at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time? How many of you have done this? You see, it's one thing to talk about something, and it's quite another actually taking the next step, which is actually doing to enable things to happen. So if you haven't done so already, please don't just be hearers of the word, be doers of the word. On this platform, we're very proactive people. We do things because they're going to help us, and we take the necessary steps to ensure that things are happening the way that they should. God bless every single one of you. Now, your girl is here this morning because I have yet another story. It's story day, story time. So let's tell the story today and let's see what lessons we can learn out of it. There was a woman who was working at an airport in the United States. She had just finished her shift and she was going home. And then out of the blues, one of her colleagues runs up to her and says, oh, you know, on this flight, there's this young lady who just arrived from Ghana and it looks like she's stranded. She says she was waiting for a relative of hers to pick her up, but it doesn't look like the person is picking up their phone, and she's crying and bawling her eyes out. And I thought of you, and I thought you might be able to help her since you guys come from the same country. So can you come with me, please? This woman loves Ghanaians so much because she's Ghanaian herself. So she dashed off to the place And lo and behold, there is this young girl at the arrivals hall crying so much that the front part of her clothes, the top part of her dress, was all soaking wet with her tears. She didn't know what she was going to do. All she had to her pocket or to her name at the airport was $60. $60 doesn't get you even a toilet room, a bathroom to sleep overnight. So what's she going to do? She's stranded. The relative of hers that she had called and was relying on to pick her up didn't show up and isn't answering his phone. This woman didn't know what to do. So she took her to her own house, asked her husband, "Hubby, when I went to work today, I met this woman. She doesn't have a place to stay. She's Ghanaian and she's a woman. There's nothing I can do. So I brought her home." Husband said, "Oh, it's okay. It doesn't matter. She can stay with us overnight and be on her way tomorrow." They had 2 children. They had to get the kids to sleep on the couch in the living room so that the visitor could have the children's bedroom. They allowed her to take a shower, they fed her, and she went to bed. The very next day, she gave the contact details that she had of her relative to her guests, and they started trying to find this relative of hers and dispatch her off to whoever it was. When they looked at the address, it turned out that where she lived, or where this relative of the girls lived, was just about 10-minute drive from where they were. So they put her in a car, they drove to the place, they started calling this number, and there was no response. But after trying for a while, the guy finally picks up the phone. It was the girl's uncle. And the uncle says, "Oh, we've brought your niece. I met her at the airport and I've brought her to you. This is the address she gave." He says, "Oh, I don't live there anymore. I moved out of that place like 4 years ago." "Really?" "Yes. So where are you now so that we can bring her to you?" He says, "No, I don't want my niece. Do you know what my niece and her mother have done to me? These people have bewitched me. Nothing of mine is working out for me. I don't want to spend another day with this girl. I don't want her in my house." So the woman says, "So what do you want me to do?" "You slept with her yesterday in your house, so take her back and continue to stay in. Let her stay in your own house. I don't want her." And he disconnected the call. It called him back several times. He never picked up the phone again. This girl is stranded. What would this woman and her husband do? They decided to take her back home. She lived with them for a time. The woman went out of her way to find her the ability to work. If you live in America, you understand. Eventually, they got her this job that she was doing. Little by little, she was working, coming in the evening. Either the woman or the husband will pick her up, bring her back home. Everything on the face of it seemed fine. As time went on, she went into long-term caring, looking after people, in their own homes, privately. So she had to go far away from home to be able to do this. And when they go like that, they could be gone for weeks and months on end. And so this woman hadn't really seen this girl for months after she left to go into this long-term caring. About 6-7 months later, she called that she was coming home. She had a break and she was coming home. The woman was excited. She, made food and whatever and was waiting for this woman to come back. When this girl arrives back, she's heavily pregnant. And the woman is surprised. "Wow, I thought you went to look after old people in this village. How did you get pregnant? Did you meet some Oyibo person there? What happened? Like, who is responsible for this? I didn't even know that." "Oh, yeah, I met this African guy and, we fell in love and he's going to marry me and now I'm pregnant for him and we're going to have a child together." And she's so excited. And then she adds to that, "Oh, I've come to pack my things and say thank you to you for everything that you've done for me. But all the things that you've done to help me be able to work here, I don't need none of those things anymore. I have my own place now and I've come to say thank you and pack my belongings and leave." And she did. Only for this woman to many months later discover that pregnancy that guest of hers had was her own husband that was responsible for that pregnancy. The girl didn't come to the house just because she was stranded and needed a place to sleep, but she came. And not only did she sleep in their house, but she took her guests, big meat too. She tasted of it and started enjoying it. Every time that the husband would tell the wife that he had an emergency at work and he had to work longer hours, he actually drove out to that village and was doing things with this guest of theirs. Today, this woman who was working in the airport, who saw and was merciful on her own fellow human being, fellow woman, and brought her home to her house, is on all kinds of medications to keep her blood pressure at bay. Because of one act of kindness, she is paying for it with her own life. It's like being on life support and needing different kinds of medications just to stay alive. Today, that marriage is on rocks. And this woman is now a single mom with 2 children. Is it even good to be kind to fellow human beings in this life anymore? I oftentimes hear people on social media talking about how people have become so wicked these days. Nobody wants to be nice and kind to everybody. These are some of the reasons why everybody has to be vigilant and people shy away from helping other people. Because when you go and you see somebody drowning, you are not standing well yourself, but you just think, my situation is a tad better than hers or his. So let me try and get her out and prevent her from drowning. Guess what? She'll push you inside the thing herself. As soon as she is standing well enough to jump out of the water herself, you will drown in her place. This is exactly what has happened in this case. The first thing I want to address is the woman who tried to help this girl. You see, we live in a time now that the heart of man being both woman and man, is desperately wicked. If this woman had just given this girl $100, whatever, go rent yourself a hotel for the next 2 nights or whatever it costs, and driven home, none of this would have happened. But she saw a lady, she saw a woman like her, stranded and needed help, and she thought, she comes from my own country. She needs help, so let me help her out. And this is the price that she has paid, her home wrecked, because of some kindness that she showed towards a fellow human being, a fellow woman, a fellow African, a fellow Ghanaian, for that matter. If she had just paid her off, just take this money, go and fix your life. God bless you, and she walked away. That would have been the end of the story. But because of one act of kindness, she's had to pay for that with her marriage. So that's put to one side. This man of a husband, everybody, this woman, that's how men are, and you can't even trust any man anymore. Let me tell you something, my brothers. Some of you, I don't know whether there's any difference between the way you behave and how animals behave. It's not an insult. I'm being serious here. The only difference between human beings, man, woman, and animals is that we have the ability to use this thing here and think. Should you sleep with everything in skirt? There are women out there. Is it the fact that this woman came to live in your house? Is that the reason? Does that give you the right to step out of your marriage and sleep with somebody else's daughter? Just because your wife decided that you guys had to be kind to somebody, you have to step away and also add sleeping with her to the list of things that you do. Some of my brothers, I just don't know what to say anymore. Some of you, the way you behave and the things that you do, your way of thinking is shameful, to say the least. Why is it that my brothers can't respect themselves? Like that piece of thing that is down there. Why can't you keep it clean and sacred? Why? Why must you sleep with everybody, everything in skirts, just because it's available? Why? I don't understand that. You have a woman in your home. The same thing that girl has, you have it in your home, your wife. Why should you step out of that? Lack of discipline, lack of self-control, lack of being contented with what it is that the heavens have given you. Everything out there, you must have it. Now, you have ruined not just your wife, but your children too, because of silly thing that you have done. Not being able to control your emotions and your feelings. Fleeting feelings that change over time. You have taken somebody that your wife brought to your home for you guys to be kind to, and you've ruined everything. I'm pretty sure that this wife and husband, they went through thick and thin together to build a life and have a family of their own. But yeah, lack of self-control. You know, and for me, when I see women and everything, and they look so beautiful, I can't help myself. Are you an animal? Because only he-goats behave like that. We human beings are supposed to use this thing here. Think for 5 minutes. I have a friend of mine who tells me that growing up, whenever he had those urges, he met somebody pretty and wanted to sleep with her, or was having these kinds of things in his head, all that he thinks about is a 5-minute decision. This girl now that I'm going to sleep with, after sleeping with her, 5 minutes later, she'll come and tell me she's pregnant. Now there's a whole human being on the way. How am I going to look after this child? Am I ready to be a parent? And that was enough deterrent for her or him. Like after 5 minutes of thinking about the whole thing, that urge just suddenly disappears overnight. But some of my brothers, oh, no. I don't know what to say to you guys. I don't know what to say to some of my brothers. I know men. Yeah, they also have that same piece of meat, maybe even better than your own. And they've stuck to one woman for the best part of 4 decades and some. And they are still staying faithful to that same woman. The same one they married in their 20s. They are still married to that same person in their 60s and 70s. So what really is the excuse here? Are they also not men? Do they also not have the same things that you have? How is it that they are able to control their urges? And some of my brothers today cannot do the same thing. Everything in skirts, you must have it. Why? Shame unto any man on this platform who behaves like that. I have no respect for any man who behaves like that. Zero. Why? I don't understand. Why? Now he's wrecked his home. Everything is destroyed because of urges. Urges have ruined his home. And now to this young girl. The evil that men do, it lives after them. You're a parent today. Yeah, maybe the man is leaving his wife for you today. But just know that just as you also took him from the wife, another nicer model will also come into his life one day. And just as he jumped from the wife to you, he will also jump from you to that other person. And when that time comes, please also accept that with gladness and happiness. Because what goes around, it comes around big time. The evil that men do, it lives after them, down the generations. I'm not cursing anybody. It's just factual. Any human being that, is not satisfied with themselves and is, reeking of envy and jealousy and wants to ruin the home, that somebody has toiled over years, sacrificed for. Woe unto you. When the heavens rain down on you, you have nowhere to hide. This woman was just being kind, just being humane towards you because you were stranded. What business do you have laying with somebody else's husband? What business do you have doing that and wrecking their home, getting pregnant? Oh, this man is such a good man. Look at the house they have. Oh, so if I allow him to sleep with me and I also get pregnant, he will do what he does for his wife for me also. My love, what are you thinking? What sort of life do you think that you're going to have abroad after living this kind of life and treating somebody who was only wanting to do good, paying them back with this level of pain? What do you think your life is going to be like? Do you know that there's so many people who have also left their home countries and traveled abroad? And after 40 years, they have nothing to show for it. It would have even been better if they had just stayed back in their home countries. Sometimes when we see people that are going through difficult times, because we didn't know them in the past, we forget that it's a price that they're paying for the evil things that they did against other people. If you want to live a life of peace, if you want the heavens to bless the work of your hands, learn to be contented with your own lot. Learn to be satisfied with your own lot. And when the Bible says that couples should keep their matrimonial beds clean and holy, it's not about just the wives. You know, men always try to twist the Bible as if it's just one part of people that is supposed to do one certain thing and they can just fade into the sunset and do what you like. It doesn't work like that. Marriage takes two to tango, eh? It takes two people devoted to each other to make the marriage work. One person can't decide they want to live this lackadaisical, I don't care, I can do anything I want kind of life and think that your marriage will see the light of day. It is hard work that 2 people, 3 people have to be committed to doing to make it work. So if you want to have a home that is worth having, if you want to have a marriage that other people envy, it's down to the pair of you in the marriage, the man, the woman, to make the marriage successful. The responsibility is not just the woman's. The responsibility is not just the man's. It's the pair of you that have to make this marriage successful. But overall, all that I want us to understand today from this story is that whatever thing you plant, what you sow, so would you reap. I feel so sorry for my sister who only wanted to be kind to her fellow human being, her fellow sister. And what she paid for it is her marriage. But in reality, this man never really loved her. If you did love your wife, you would never do such a thing to her. When you love somebody, you don't want to hurt them. You do whatever it is to profess and protect them. You provide for them. You don't take away their joy. You don't take any actions that will lead them onto being on blood pressure medication for the rest of their life because of one thing that you have done. That's not love. That's just taking advantage of people. That's just deceit. And I promise you, there's a price to pay for whoever does that. When somebody loves you with everything that they have, Sister Veronica, may the heavens bless you. I see you. Thank you so much for your stars. When somebody goes out of their way to love you, to sacrifice themselves for you, to give their whole self to you, and you treat them like this, I promise you, there's a price that you pay for that thing. If you don't want to pay no price, if you want to live in peace, do right by people. Before you take any action, ask yourself the question, if I were caught up in this person's shoes, what would I do differently? And answer that for yourself. This guy has hurt this woman so much that it's not even funny anymore. And it hurts real bad. And I pray that she survives it. And she rises above it. And this man would look back at the wife 5 to 10 years from now and be gnashing his teeth, wishing that he hadn't done what he did. And this woman would have moved on so nicely. And the heavens will bless her with everything good that human beings deserve to have on this planet. If you're listening to me today, be satisfied with your lot. If you must press harder, press harder. If you must hustle more, hustle more. Hustling never killed anybody. But do not ever take anything that does not belong to you, because there is a price. Honey, there is a price to pay for every evil thing that you do to a fellow human being. Taking something that doesn't belong to you. Oh, man. And being happy about it. Flaunting it all over the place. Yeah, this young Ghanaian girl, she's just arrived. She thinks, she knows it all. She's got it all. But what goes around definitely comes around. My love, before I go, I'm here to remind you one last time that those of you who wanted to try Redox and experience the wonders of what Redox can do for you and your health, help you to maintain optimal health, whether you have issues or you don't, there is a sale and it's finishing tomorrow. And I'm just here to remind you, if you haven't gone to get your own Redox already, you're wasting time. This sale is finishing tomorrow, and then the price will be the price. You want to try it. Why not take advantage of this promotion? Get it for cheaper. Try it and see what it does for you. What it's done for me has been absolutely awesome. I'm going to be using it till thy kingdom come. I don't know about you, but it's time. And I just thought I should let you know. Tomorrow is the last day. Number 2, those of you who have asked for link, send me the webinar. I want to attend the webinar. Yeah, I've sent all of you the link. If you haven't booked yourself a seat yet, please don't let this thing take you by surprise. The spaces are filling up pretty quick. So please, if you said you wanted the webinar link, follow through. Click on the link and do the needful. The sooner, the better. Last days are dangerous. Okay? 25th of November is just next Saturday. It's just 9 days away. On the 24th, it will be done. Getting a space on the 24th will be lastminute.com. You don't want Rapture to get you at that time. So please, do the needful. It doesn't cost you much. You can buy yourself all the frivolous things that pass away with time. You can pay for this webinar, and it will do a life transformational number on you. Okay? So go get that. Sister Abba, I would respond to your message shortly. May the heavens bless you with everything that you deserve. Your hard work, may it be blessed. Pressed down, shaking together, and running over. And I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning, yet again, with another amazing message for all of us in our lives. Play back the story. Listen to the story again. Think about it. And fit yourself wherever you need to fit yourself. If you're that kind of person that is impulsive and always helping everybody and their dog, opening up yourself to be hurt, learn your lesson. If you're that man sleeping around with anything in skirt, Learn your lesson. And if you're that young lady who thinks that you're the only person that is sensible to be taking things that don't belong to you, you too, learn your lesson. I love you so much. Happy Thursday. Take care of yourself. Stay beautiful. And don't forget, Redox Seal is finishing tomorrow. Bye.